think it implies that exactly what we have all been hearing, that things are very rocky, and Harry's really delighted to get up from under her thumb. Um, and I gather that he's under nothing else but her thumb at this point. So,
that is Lady Colin Campbell is with me. As we learn that Prince Harry is going to celebrate his 40th birthday, not by going on a romantic holiday with the woman he claims to love so much, Meghan Markle, or with his invisible children, but rather he will set off on a lad's holiday to celebrate his 40th birthday, with Meghan back at home, according to the Daily Mail, and no sign of William 10 years after the brothers partied together for his 30th. Now, of course, Lady C, great to see you, by the way. Of course, Harry decided to reveal this in People magazine, in an email to People magazine. So we now know, and we'll come to this later, we now know that he is the source for all of the stories that appear in this magazine. We knew anyway, come on. Meghan's been giving them stories for about 5-6 years now, but still, bizarre thing to do. But what do you make of the fact that he's decided to go off on a lad's holiday? It doesn't exactly suggest that things are rosy on the home front, does it?
well, Dan, I hate to be obstructive and disruptive, but it could actually imply that they are so happy and solidly married that he can actually go off on his own. It could imply that. I don't think it does, but it could imply that. I think it implies that exactly what we have all been hearing, that things are very rocky, and Harry's really delighted to get up from under her thumb. And I gather that he's under nothing else but her thumb at this point. So, and may I say, it will be interesting if he and Orlando Bloom are together, because Orlando Bloom had the tendency to display that which God gave him.
Oh, yes,
and
as does Harry.
God was rather more generous with Orlando than he was with Harry.
Oh, goodness. Okay, let me tell you what, according to Taz, our friend, the royal YouTuber, had to say on this, Lady C. She said, "Sorry, but I do not believe that this is normal behaviour. Harry going on a lad's holiday for his 40th, obviously only with Meghan-approved friends. Seriously, who would go away without their wife and children to celebrate their birthday? He's 40, not 21. So she's leaning towards suggesting that this means things aren't exactly going well.
Well, you know, Dan, we've all heard that things are extremely rocky and volatile, but I was simply proposing the alternative as a hypothesis. I don't actually, as I said, believe that that was the case. I think Taz is most likely absolutely right. Harry's most likely delighted to get a break from being under that thumb, and who can blame him? But I mean, you know, of course he's going with the lads, which, again, Harry used to be somebody who liked being with the lads. And I think it's actually a very positive sign from his point of view, because it shows that he's no longer attached at the hip.
But if you believe, Lady C, this email that Prince Harry sent to People magazine, in fact, he's the happiest he's ever been. So in case you didn't read these screeds of platitudes at home, let me take you through it. Prince Harry has emailed People magazine to say that the greatest gift of all is his family, his children specifically. He says, I enjoy watching them grow every single day and I love being their dad. He also goes on to say that he increased their security, and this is according to a friend, but remember, we now know that Harry is directly emailing People magazine. And the friend says Harry has been reluctant to show his children publicly, not out of a desire to keep them hidden, but to protect their privacy and safety from potential threats. He wants them to lead as normal a life as possible without the fear of kidnapping or harm. And the friend added, as a dad and husband, Harry is determined to ensure that history doesn't repeat itself. So, Lady C, loads to pick up on there, loads to decode. But firstly, what do you make of the fact that he's actually emailing People magazine now with quotes direct that he is allowing them to publish? Isn't that bizarre?
Well, again, Dan, I'll say you and I have both known for some time that Harry's a publicity junkie and he absolutely loves it, and his pretense to the contrary was something that people believed at first, but people like us have known for some time that he absolutely just loves the attention. And you only need to see him when he's without Meghan on his own. He absolutely beams with delight when he sees a camera. And then sometimes he remembers he should be glowering. And so he then puts on the glower face. But so that's, right there. I mean, he's an arch hypocrite, and it couldn't be more obvious where that's concerned.
Yeah, true. And then do you believe what he has to say in this article? Because it's an interesting one, isn't it, to write an article to a magazine or give a statement to a magazine, which means they are going to put your children at the center of the coverage, while at the same time saying that you're doing everything to protect the privacy of your children. That doesn't exactly add up, does it?
Well, nothing with them ever adds up. The fact of the matter is that, a very happy couple and a very happy person would not be asserting so firmly how happy he is. I do think that he's absolutely right when he says that his children are the center of his life and that they have given him a purpose in life. I think that's absolutely true. I would have said that, as for gilding the rest of the lily, that he's so happy. My understanding is he's not so happy. The marriage is extremely rocky and very volatile, and nobody likes being under somebody's heel the way he is at all times under hers. But I will say, as somebody whose children were threatened with being kidnapped as well, in the early 2000s, and I had to get Scotland Yard involved.
Wow.
I mean, it's
ludicrous
to say that if the children are not photographed, that they're somewhat safer. That's utter rubbish, because a kidnapper would target the children and would be very easily able to see what the children looked like just by following them from home to school on a daily basis. So right there, that doesn't add up. And it certainly doesn't add up to people who've had their children being threatened with kidnapping, as I had with mine when they were younger. So it doesn't make sense. But everything that Harry and Meghan do somehow doesn't quite add up. And they sort of push out these narratives and come up with these excuses to justify their conduct. But if you actually know what's really going on, none of it makes sense. So that, again, I thought was just ridiculous, at least to me, because I've been there and done that. And I know that kidnappers already, it's very easy for a kidnapper to find out which specific child they're going to kidnap. I mean, they don't go and kidnap the neighbor's child. It's ludicrous. I mean, he may be stupid, but not everybody's as stupid as he is.
But first, digestive issues are caused by a potential toxin that's in all of the, quote, healthy foods that scientists have been telling us to eat, with a fraudulent food pyramid for the longest time. And this potential toxin causes digestive issues. According to Dr. Gundry, a world-renowned cardiologist, this is affecting millions of people nationwide. Warning signs include weight gain and fatigue, digestive discomfort and stiff joints, even skin problems. Well, Dr. Gundry explains these side effects can be manipulated and mistaken for normal signs of aging because digestive issues develop usually over a matter of years and sometimes even decades. I can assure you that the damage is probably caused by these health foods and it's far from normal. The good news is you can easily help fix the problem from your own home. It's very simple. You just have to know which foods are actually healthy and which contain this hidden potential toxin. So you can go find this yourself at gutcleanseprotocol.com/outspoken. That's gutcleanseprotocol.com/outspoken. I've put the link in our show notes on YouTube and Rumble too. Because after years of research, Dr. Gundry has decided to release an informative video to the public free and uninterrupted, showcasing exactly which foods you need to avoid. Go find that video at gutcleanseprotocol.com/outspoken or click on the link in the description below. But now, back to the show. No, indeed. Indeed. Now, look, I want to talk to you about the big other story of the week involving the Sussexes, which was over this re-emergence in public at the local Montecito bookstore with Oprah Winfrey. So everyone was thinking, oh, this is odd because Oprah had distanced herself from Harry and Meghan. Maybe they're back being friends again. But now a fascinating video has emerged, Lady C, which I want to play you, which shows Oprah actually arriving in the middle of Meghan's speech. Meghan looks furious that Oprah has stolen her thunder, and Oprah doesn't exactly look delighted to see the Duchess of Sussex. So let's have a look, and I'll get you to react off the back.
Safety of what I was craving, I knew I could find in a bookstore. I get the book, go to checkout, place it there at the counter. Safety of what I was.
So let's just look at it one more time because I know it was quite quick and there's a few subtleties there. So here's one other look at it.
Safety of what I was craving, I knew I could find in a bookstore. I get the book, go to checkout, place it there at the counter. Safety of.
Now, she wasn't happy, was she, Lady C? Because surely that would have been a moment for her to stop and say, whoa, 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 look who's just arrived. Oprah Winfrey, the woman behind the legendary book club, the woman who told my story to the world. But instead it was just like a glare and how dare you interrupt my moment and steal the attention from me.
Yes, because of course she would not have expected Oprah to do something quite so hostile and unprofessional. I mean, that's really very unprofessional of Oprah, as you know only too well. That, I mean, you would never do that to
No, it felt deliberate though, didn't it?
What?
Well, it felt deliberate.
Exactly. I think that Oprah's giving a dual message. On the one hand, she's in the same room as Meghan, and on the other hand, she's giving the message that, well, maybe everything isn't quite as hunky-dory in the land of Never Never Land as Meghan would like people to believe it is. I think it's very subtle, and I mean, there's absolutely no way that this would have happened if it hadn't been deliberate. And it's a real put down. And I actually don't blame Meghan for being rather cheesed off. Where I do think that she has let herself down is, had she been a little bit more professional or had a bit more presence of mind, or shall we say a bit more sophistication, she'd have covered it as indeed you suggested she should. Oh, look who's arrived. Oh, isn't it wonderful? Come to hear me speak. I mean, she could have spun it even in that direction, but she didn't.
No, and I completely agree. It was rude of Oprah because the thing you would do if you're late to an event like that, you would wait. You would wait until she had finished speaking and then you would enter. So the whole thing was very awkward. But you saw the posed pictures there. There's photos of Harry with Portia de Rossi, or that's Meghan hugging Portia de Rossi, Ellen DeGeneres' wife. But you didn't see posed up pictures of Meghan and Harry with Oprah. So I think something still is going on there. Certainly there is a frosty relationship these days. But Lady C, can I move on to my favourite royal moment of the week? Because this combined my two countries, so I loved it. So the Black Ferns are the New Zealand female rugby team. They're a great bunch of girls, and they were at a Buckingham Palace reception with King Charles, and they wanted the monarch to have his first ever group hug. This was done, I think, very respectfully, and the king loved it. Watch.
Hug? Yeah. Why not?
And he actually spoke about it after too.
I much appreciated this chance to meet you and to have such a warm hug from both of you.
Wasn't it great? Wasn't it great? Please tell me you loved it.
I loved every minute of it, Dan. And of course, it was with New Zealand.
Yes.
You know, the king is very warm, and the king has a very easygoing way with him when people are positive. And I mean, this has come across here. I mean, the late Queen would never have done something like that because, of course, she was a different sort of personality. But he's very warm and affectionate. And he's very warm and affectionate in his private life. And it's coming across in his public life as well, that he really is warm. I thought it was beautiful. And the fact that it had something to do with New Zealand, I wonder if it had anything to do with you, naughty Dan.
Well, all I would say is that it's the best of Kiwi down-to-earth nature. There's something about New Zealanders that are very friendly. We don't really do the whole authority thing. And so I loved seeing the combination, because obviously I'm a dual citizen, a dual British and New Zealand citizen, but I'm a major monarchist, and so I loved it. I absolutely loved it. Thank you so much for watching Dan Wootton Outspoken. Please do subscribe if you want lots more clips and interviews like that. Plus, if you want to watch our totally uncensored after show, then visit www.outspoken.live.